old fish. We want the catch of the day.
Diving and making an incredible catch is Isaac Collins.
The Brewers host the Marlins in Milwaukee. Our Brewers game day coverage starts today at noon with Brewers warm-up on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 8 o'clock, it's 74 degrees in Milwaukee. Today, foggy but otherwise hot, humid, and mostly sunny with a high of 88 near the lake. And tonight, a low of 73 from the WTMJ Breaking News Center. I'm Nazir Spencer. Terror for weekend shoppers at a Traverse City, Michigan Walmart. ABC's Dave Packer reports.
Police say a man with a knife went on a stabbing rampage.
It is very uncommon for our area. But unfortunately, as I mentioned, no one is immune to this.
County Sheriff Michael Shea says 11 people were stabbed, 6 in critical condition, but
Based on the information that we have at this time, it appears they were random acts.
the suspect, a 42-year-old man, is in custody. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Police have not yet named the suspect. Deputy FBI Director Dan Beningo post on X that FBI personnel are responding to provide any necessary support. New details on the death of a young woman from La Crosse whose body was discovered Wednesday in the Mississippi River.
Preliminary autopsy results indicate foul play did not lead to the death of 22-year-old Elliot Hines. Police in La Crosse indicate final autopsy results will still take several months to complete and that Hines' death remains an open investigation. The Viterbo University grad student was last seen alive on camera walking south of downtown La Crosse early Sunday morning. Her body was found 7 miles downriver near Brownsville, Minnesota. A memorial service for Hines is expected later this fall. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Unacceptable wage offers from the city of Milwaukee. That's the response from Milwaukee police about ongoing negotiations for their contract that have experienced another delay, this time with arbitration. President of the Milwaukee Police Association, Alex Ayala, tells WTMJ.
We are willing to negotiate a fair offer from the city. If the mayor was to say, hey, I'll give you guys a fair wage offer, yes, that's definitely something we will talk about and contemplate, but the city has made no efforts into leading to that.
Milwaukee police have not had a pay raise in over 2 years. Hear the whole interview with Alex Ayala on WTMJ Conversations Sunday, August 3rd at 11 a.m. Capping cost of tuition for Wisconsin higher education.
2 Wisconsin lawmakers are proposing a new bill that will put a limit to how much tuition the UW system can raise for students. Representative Dave Murphy and Senator Andre Jacques are hoping to put a pause to tuition hikes after the state approved a $256 million budget increase for the next 2 years. The Journal-Sentinel reports UW officials said at a recent board meeting that tuition hikes are needed despite the budget increase. The UW system is also still feeling the long-term effects of a decade of frozen tuition. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
Fans were treated to a show during the first ever Brewers Alumni Home Run Derby Friday night.
To commemorate a quarter century of American Family Field, the team welcomed back a player from each of those seasons, including fan favorites like Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder. It was Carlos Gomez's squad that captured the team home run derby title. Then it was Keon Broxton beating Corey Hart for the individual championship. Broxton after the win.
And before we got out here, everybody was in the weight room, getting our bodies prepared, trying to wake it up and everything. So just being back in that competitive mode is amazing.
At American Family Field, Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:04.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about, in my clinic, kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
With over 57 years of experience, family-owned Yutka Fence installs high-quality fencing with residential options, including vinyl, wood, aluminum, chain link, and ornamental fences. Committed to craftsmanship and customer service, Yutka Fence doesn't just build fences, they build relationships based on care, trust, precision, and protecting what matters most. Mention you're a WTMJ fan for 10% off your project. Schedule your free estimate today at yutkafence.com or call 262-859-3226.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers lose against the Miami Mariners once again on Saturday, stretching their lose streak to 2 games. They have a chance to take a win in the series against the Mariners this afternoon at 1:10. Brewers warm-up begins at 12:05 right here on WTMJ. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. No major issues, no major delays, and full freeway speeds across the system.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Any fog lifts, otherwise hot, humid, and mostly sunny with a high of 88 near the lake and 92 inland. Tonight, warm and muggy with increasing clouds with a low of 73. Monday, partly cloudy, hot and humid with a slight chance of showers and storms and a high of 92. Heat index up to 100 and 105 in the afternoon. Tuesday, partly cloudy with a chance of a shower or storms. High of 85. Wednesday, mostly cloudy and more comfortable with a chance of a shower or storm and a high of 75. Thursday, partly cloudy and nice with a high of 76. Right now in Madison, 71. In Green Bay, 75. In Waukesha, 73. And in Milwaukee, 74 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins.
And it is going to be a hot couple of days, no doubt about that. We'll talk a little bit more about the weather as the morning goes on. And boy, we do have a very busy show lined up for you. I'll give you the whole rundown in just a couple minutes. But first, you've heard the term buyer beware. Well, truer words were never spoken, especially when it comes to making a big investment like buying a new car. What happens when your big purchase turns out to be less than stellar? That's the topic of this month's Driver's Ed with Debbie.
So you've got a new car. How's that working for you? Uh-oh. What's the trouble? You've brought it to the dealer 4 times and it's still not fixed?
What do you do if you think you may have purchased the dreaded lemon? Well, first, are you sure it's a lemon? Dealer and Agent Section Chief with the Wisconsin DOT and DMV, Mara Skifalakwa, is an expert on the lemon law.
So what constitutes a lemon is a new vehicle that is not more than a year old and it's still under warranty. It does include motor vehicles, it includes motorcycles, and includes motorhome. It has to be a self-propelled vehicle that is subject to registration.
So no, you can't claim you have a lemon if it's a used car, contrary to popular belief. And that clock is ticking, since it can only be deemed a lemon within its first year.
One of the following things need to happen within that first year is that you brought this vehicle in to get repaired at least 4 times for that specific issue, or if the vehicle was unable to be operated for 30 or more days due to the defects. And those 30 days do not need to be consecutive.
Yeah, it's all due diligence, even if it is time consuming. But now what?
So you believe you've met those requirements and you want to file a claim with the manufacturer. We do have a form that consumers can use. It does kind of outline all the information the manufacturer is going to need to know.
You want to include things like all the dealership repair orders, diagnostics, and anything you have to prove that you brought the car in to be fixed all those times and it's still not fixed. With all this information in hand, you'd send your complaint to the manufacturer, not the state, even though the state does have someone well-versed in the lemon law process.
We are there for guidance.
I'm sure you can come up with plenty of questions to ask, such as, what happens if your defect causes a car accident? Who's responsible?
So the law doesn't address that specific question. And frankly, I think it would be something that would have to be settled within court for a judge to decide.
So a quick recap. A lemon is any new self-propelled vehicle less than a year old and under warranty that's been brought in to be fixed for the same defect 4 times or not been drivable for 30 or more days due to the defect. I know, it's a lot, but that's where the Wisconsin DOT website comes in. They've got everything spelled out.
So there you have it, intrepid new car owner. You'll have your refund or be in a new car in no time.
Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News. Oh, Debbie, you think you're frustrated about some of those cars. No, real frustration comes from the officers of the Milwaukee Police Department. And on Friday, I had the opportunity to sit down for a very candid conversation with Alex Ayala. He's the president of the Milwaukee Police Association. You know, they've been without a contract for almost 3 years, and it's almost like they're saying enough is enough. And we're going to share part of that conversation with you. I mean, we're going to have the whole conversation next week on WTMJ Conversations, but there's so much there. We want to share some of that with you today. That's going to be on New at 9. Also, we're joined by Timothy Gibbons from the Milwaukee Business Journal. He's going to tell us how excited the area is to have a new Pan-Asian grocery store. Plus, as you're aware, this week we lost a number of performers that we grew up with. And Sandy Max is going to tell us about a surprising Milwaukee connection to one of them. Plus, one of those was Hulk Hogan, and his death was a surprise, especially to those in the wrestling community. And we're going to be talking with Frankie DeFalco from Bruce City Wrestling about his personal memories of Hulk. And yes, he did know Hulk Hogan. Plus, our consumer expert is here. She says, don't fall for it if somebody tells you they can get you a new plastic Medicare card. What are we talking about? Well, stick around. We'll tell you. Eric Bilstead highlights an everyday hero. We're going to take a look back at the week in review. Isaac's here pushing those buttons. Nizer Spencer is in the newsroom. And in just 2 minutes, it's Mark Hort with sports right here on WTMJ. I'm Libby Collins. It is 8:13. Our temperature hot, humid today. It's going to be it's 76 right now, but hold on to your hats because we got a couple of real hot days ahead for you in southeastern Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Hey, this is Honest Eddie from the car lot down the street.
Hi, Honest Eddie.
Is it true your showrooms don't have any employees?
That's right. Hasselus mattress showrooms are employee-free.
Now, don't you be dishonest with Honest Eddie.
It's true. Give the mattresses a try with no pushy sales guide. And through Monday, get additional instant savings of $248 off Sealy Posturepedic and Beauty Rest.
Son, to make it in sales, you gotta pressure people. Like, what's your budget? Or, I know it's the most expensive model, but trust me, it's the right one for you. And what's it gonna take to get you into a Sealy Posturepedic or Beauty Rest today?
But that's hassling customers.
Yeah, so?
Our store is called Hassle Less Mattress.
Just change the name. How about Wacky Westerns?
Uh-oh, you're breaking up. Gotta go.
Wait, no, let me talk to my manager.
Hasseless Mattress, 100% Eddie free. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hasseless.com.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk.
Stowers moves from left to right, and the first pitch to Vaughn. A fly ball into center field. It is deep, and it is gone. Andrew Vaughn hits a home run, and it's 7-4.
And that was the final run for the Brewers last night. A leadoff solo homer from first baseman Andrew Vaughn in the ninth. They lost to the Marlins in a 7-4 ball game. The Brewers and the Marlins meet one more time this afternoon before the Crew takes on the Cubs here in Milwaukee. First pitch today is at 1:10. Our coverage starts at noon with Brewers warm-up with Dominic Cotroneo here on WTMJ. And Packers training camp continues. Their first preseason game is August 9th, now against the Jets. I'm Mark Wart for WTMJ Sports.
And it is going to be hot and humid all over the place, especially at MFAM. The high today is going to be 88, and that's near the lake. As you go further inland, 92 for a high. We're already up to 76 degrees. I'm Libby Collins at 8:16, and it's time to check in with Eric Bilstead, and he's going to tell us all about another everyday hero.
Wisconsin's Morning News identifies an everyday hero as an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Today we head to Milton, Wisconsin, Rock County. Little Lou Easton, a 4-year-old little girl. She lives with autism and she's nonverbal. Plus, she doesn't feel pain. And last month, she climbed the fence of her home and disappeared from the backyard. So Mom calls the police, says, I can't find my child. She's not wearing shoes. And given the little girl's condition...
We also knew that she wouldn't know to come home because of her autism. She wouldn't know that she's hungry. She should try and head home, or that if she sees someone, she should go to them.
That's Lou's mom talking to Spectrum News. The sheriff's deputies started a large-scale search, and they had 600 volunteers on standby. They were using canine units, but no luck.
4 hours of just agony, not knowing.
4 hours, and they still hadn't found the little girl. Then came Jeremy Herring-Sporle, a drone pilot, who joined the search.
Pretty nervous going into it.
Jeremy had some searching experience, but never for children.
I've done horses, dogs. I've gotten calls for cattle, but never actually got there.
So Jeremy gets his drone up in the air, spends 40 minutes searching a giant cornfield, and finally locates the little girl. He brought the drone over the child, called police.
4-1, she's playing in the dirt. She's directly below the blinking white light drone.
To see video as first responders find the girl in the cornfield, just text the word hero to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620. Herring-Sporle had done it. He had found the little child. He says he was ecstatic knowing he could help.
Excited, I couldn't even function. I couldn't even think. Nothing could compare to that moment.
Thank you, Jeremy Herring-Sporle, for being an everyday hero. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Thanks so much, Eric. Always good to hear you on a Sunday morning. It's 8:19. Tim Gibbons has a lot of news about grocery stores this week, and we're going to tell you all about it. It's coming up in just a couple minutes right here on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
When you're at State Fair this year, be sure to check out the Bank 59 Amphitheater, State Fair's largest free entertainment venue, featuring acts like Here Come the Mummies, Hair Bangers Ball, and Pat McCurdy. Bank 59 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they've served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Bank 59 between July 31st and August 10th. Member FDIC.
Hey there. You hear that? Right, you don't. That's what it's like to order food for your workplace with EasyCater. No hold music while you wait to place your order. No tapping as you type in special dietary instructions or long, complicated searches for options in your budget. No crinkling of paper receipts. Just...
Dang, these are some tasty sandwiches.
EasyCater, the better way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you, with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Shop Tempur-Pedic mattresses at Steinhafels. Queen hybrids start at just $52 a month with 60-month financing. Plus, get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Add an anti-snore adjustable base and sleep even better. Only at Steinhafels.
We are in for a couple of very hot and humid days starting today. Yeah, it's sunny, but we're going to be up to about 92 degrees inland, a little bit cooler near the lake. Then tonight, warm and muggy, increasing clouds. Only 73 for a low overnight. Then tomorrow, we really get hot. We've got a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm, but that high is going to be around 92. It is going to feel like it's somewhere between 100 and 105 degrees in the afternoon. Cooling down finally a bit on Tuesday, partly cloudy with a chance of showers or thunderstorms and a high of 85. Then Wednesday, a little bit more clouds in the sky, a little bit more comfortable. Another chance of some storms, 75 for a high temperature. Currently in Kenosha, we have 72 degrees. Oconomowoc at 75. Cedarburg has 77, and it's 76 degrees at 8:21 on WTMJ. It's time to check in on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line with Timothy Gibbons. He's the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. And boy, a lot of people who love to shop at Sendik's are kind of excited about this news in Whitefish Bay. Tim, tell us all about it.
Yeah, this was exciting news when it was first floated out there as a thing that might happen. And now that we have some details, I know people are excited. So Sendik's is looking to spend about $8 million to $10 million to build a new two-story store in Whitefish Bay. It's going to be on property that they own. They have a building that was their corporate office. I think they left there about a decade ago, and they obviously, as people know, have a store there now. So what they're going to do is demolish the former corporate office, build the new store there, and then knock down the existing store and use that as a parking lot.
How many square feet will that be?
It's 74,000 square feet total, so it's split between two floors. I think it's 35 and 38 square feet. It's around there, so it's pretty big. So it's going to have a larger footprint for shopping on the first floor, and the second floor is going to be interesting because in some ways it's a pro-employee sort of move. It's going to be larger workspaces. There's going to be storage up there, so they're kind of getting a lot of bang for their buck.
All right, let's move to another story that kind of intrigued people this week, and that is this meme stock frenzy that hit Kohl's. What are we talking about here?
Well, you're not a meme stock investor? So
I have no idea what this means.
You are not alone in not knowing what this means. So meme stocks in general came up back in the early days of the pandemic. They're called meme stocks because they are largely driven by investors on a subreddit called Wall Street Bets, where these investors all kind of end up grouping around certain stocks. Bed Bath & Beyond, GameStop was the first one of these, where a lot of online chatter leads to a lot of weird price movement. Typically, stocks go up and down because of how the business is doing. Kohl's, for example, its stock has gone down because its business has been having some troubles. This week, it surged, went to a high of 21.39, basically double where it had closed the day before, driven by this online chatter. So there's a thing called short selling, which is when investors bet that a stock will go down, and they borrow the stock, they sell it, and if the price goes up instead, they have to buy it. And when you buy things in the stock market, that drives the price up because there's more demand. So you get this cycle where the price goes up, short sellers have to cover their shorts, they buy, that makes the price go up more, and everything starts just soaring. And that's what happened with Kohl's this week.
Have you talked to anybody in corporate to find out their take on all this?
Yeah, we've reached out, and like most companies in this situation, it's not something the company really has anything to say about. You know, the stock market's weird because in some ways it's a reflection of how investors think a company will do, but a company doesn't directly benefit or get hurt when their stock price goes up or down. I mean, it helps with things like acquisitions, and obviously it's a vote of confidence in what they're doing, and it's the fiduciary duty of a company to try to drive their stock price higher. But it's not like if the stock price goes up, the company is automatically doing better, particularly in a case like this. So in some cases, there's been companies where the stock price got driven up, and the companies have sold new stock into the market, taking advantage of that higher price. That is not something that Kohl's has given any indication that they'll be doing. So it's not a opportunity for them to raise capital or something like that they're taking advantage of.
Okay, so is there any indication as to why Kohl's stock was targeted in this?
Yeah, so it gets back to that short selling thing. So the idea that dynamic I described where The price goes up, short sellers have to cover their shorts, so they buy more stock, and that drives the price up higher. That's known as a short squeeze. And to do that, you want to get a company that has a high amount of short interest in it, and something like half of the shares being traded around Kohl's are short. So that makes it a attractive target for this type of thing. And it's a well-traded company. I mean, the activity that went on this week is like 21 times the typical daily average trading volume. But, it's a real company, and that's one of the other things that attracts this type of interest. I mentioned Bed Bath & Beyond and GameStop. Those are brands that listeners are probably familiar with. Kohl's is obviously here locally, but nationally is a brand people are familiar with. And that gets people kind of more interested in investing, or speculating is probably the better word. I don't know if you can really call these people investors, but speculating in the stock that causes these price jumps.
I don't know. When I see things like that, I kind of get a stomach ache. But something that calms me down is being with my dog. And I understand there's a new place for me to take him.
There is. And as much as people are excited about online investing, I think dog owners are even more excited. So the Downtown Dog Park, which has been in the works for a good number of years, is set to open August 20th. It's a 23,000 square foot park. It has areas for big dogs and small dogs right there in the heart of downtown. With the rising interest in urban living, there are lots of people who want somewhere to bring their pup, and people are really excited about this. It's a collaboration of the business improvement districts there for downtown and for the Third Ward. They work together. And From Family Foods, the pet food company, has really been a big supporter of making this happen. So it's going to be cool.
Do we know what the accommodations are going to be like? I mean, are there going to be benches or places that people could pick up a refreshment while they're there?
This is the interesting bit. Listeners will have to stop back on Monday at MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com and get all the details on this. But From is also building out an adjacent property where they're looking at housing a distillery, a pub, a cocktail lounge, a restaurant. It's a big project, it's an exciting project, and we have more details on that we're actually able to release on Monday.
Even more reason to take your dog to that dog park.
Dogs and distilleries, man. I mean, why would you ever go home?
We're talking with Timothy Gibbons, editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. Speaking about pubs and things like this, now what's this in Menominee Falls where they're talking about public funding for a brewery project?
Yeah, a little bit of public funding. I mean, so the village is looking at putting $400,000 into what's going to be called Clockwork Brewing and Blending. It's a $4.5 million project in part of the village that they've been looking to get some action, some movement on. They have an 8-acre tax increment district, basically, which sets up the stage for projects to get city help. Half of that, 4 of the acres, are going to be this brewery. That land's been vacant for decades. Across the street, listeners might remember the Orchid Inn, that property, which that's been shut down for a while, and the building there has been demolished. But that's the other site that can get city incentives. So there's a little bit of discussion amongst the village itself on how they structure the incentive. Right now, the plan that was before the village would have had the brewery get the money up front. It looks like they're going to move it to more of a as it goes on sort of thing, that once construction is done, things are moving, then the brewery gets the money. But in either case, it's a vacant piece of land that is not doing a lot for the local tax base, and with this project, it could raise the assessed value to something like $3 million.
All right, let's talk finally about the acquisition of some Wisconsin banks and what that means for the community.
Yeah, and this is probably something that you're going to be hearing or reading more about in months to come. So M&A, merger and acquisition activity in the banking sector, really has been heating up this year for a bunch of different reasons. Where it hits home is the parent company of Bank First has acquired the parent company of First National Bank and Trust. They're in the process of acquiring. The deal is going to close basically at the beginning of 2026. And it will give Bank First a much bigger presence in southeast Wisconsin.
And finally, I got one last question for you I'm going to throw to you. The Pan-Asian grocery store just opened this past week. What are you hearing about that?
It did. I'm hearing that it was packed. We had somebody out there trying to get a sense of what the vibe was like, and they described it as Black Friday lines. That might have been slightly hyperbolistic, but it was definitely getting a lot of interest from shoppers right off the bat there. Well, I'm interested in that project for 2 reasons. One, I love Asian food, and my wife's an amazing cook, so we will definitely be stopping by just for our own consumption. But I'm also interested in what it does for that part of the city in terms of driving more foot traffic, getting more stuff going on there. There is a lot of excitement around the idea of this type of retail development just really spurring more energy in that part of town.
All right. Tim Gibbons from the Milwaukee Business Journal. It is always great to talk with you.
Great to talk to you as well. We'll have to get our dogs together.
Definitely. 76 degrees at 8:29 on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Steve Scafidi here. Will rates go up or down? We'll know more on July 30th. That's when the Fed announces its next rate decision. Join Annex Wealth Management's chief economist, Dr. Brian Jacobson, for Instant Insight at 3 p.m. on July 30th. Instant Insight is when Annex goes live after important announcements like the Fed's announcement to help explain what it means for you and your money. When it comes to your financial future, a bit of expert insight could help you understand what's going on. Register now at WTMJ.com or events at AnnexWealth.com. July 30th at 3 p.m. live after the Fed announcement.
Hi, Mitzi. What's the news from Kessler's in Brookfield?
Everything's smooth like butter. We're all just marching to the beat of the big bass drum.
That sounds like fun.
Your email said you wanted to talk about 32 things. What are they?
The 32 things are rare and special engagement rings.
Tell me more.
Each one of these amazing rings is just waiting for someone to choose the center stone.
What about the side stones?
All the side stones are Kessler 81s.
81 windows exploding with light instead of just 57 windows that are modestly glowing like most other diamonds.
We have 16 rings in 18 karat gold and 16 rings in platinum.
All they need is a center diamond?
Yeah, and our prices on natural center diamonds and created center diamonds are incredibly low right now.
Each store has a beautiful assortment of these rings?
Yes, and they're priced from just $900 up to $3,900.
Good job. Keep marching to the beat of that big bass drum, Mitzi.
I'm excited.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. They're the best in the business. They are Certa Pro painters. Now's the time to get on their schedule. Their summer sales discount goes through the end of July. Do it now. They painted our house, the outside, absolutely fantastic. They're kind, they're thoughtful. They moved our patio furniture out of the way and moved it right back where it belonged. It is Certa Pro painters. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. For your home or business, they're the best. Each Certa Pro painters business is independently owned and operated.
It's 8:31, and we've got Nazir Spencer in the WTMJ Breaking News Center. And Nazir, sadly, they found the identity of that young man who drowned at just over the state border.
Yep.
He's from Milwaukee, too.
Yep, correct. Thank you, Libby. The body of a Milwaukee teenager has been recovered from Lake Michigan. ABC7 News in Chicago reports Lake County officials were able to locate the body of 14-year-old Kyle Williams at Illinois Beach State Park on Friday. Williams was last seen on Tuesday after he fell into the water. Witnesses say that Williams was sitting on rocks when a wave knocked him into the water, and he never resurfaced. 7 News reports the Lake County Coroner's Office determined that Williams died by drowning. Early autopsy results in the death of a woman who went missing from La Crosse. Police say there is no evidence of criminal conduct in the death of 22-year-old Elliot Hines from Hortonville. She went missing early Sunday morning in downtown La Crosse. Her body was discovered in the Mississippi River Wednesday morning by officials in Brownsville, Minnesota. Hines was a graduate student studying mental health counseling at Viterbo University. Final autopsy results won't be completed for several months. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ's time-saver traffic. No major issues, no major delays, and full freeway speeds across the system.
Traffic is brought to you by the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club near Holy Hill.
The successful Fox and Hounds is hiring experienced line cooks. Make real money. Inquire today. Start next week. Just Google it. Fox and Hounds Restaurant. Make real money.
Here's your WTMJ forecast. Today, any fog lifts. Otherwise hot, humid, and mostly sunny with a high of 88 near the lake and 92 inland. Tonight, warm and muggy with increasing clouds and a low of 73. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 74 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:33.
And in just 2 minutes, it's the Week in Review, sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Open the door to big savings on beautiful Mastercraft doors at Menards. Mastercraft steel entry doors add a stylish appearance, and they're a great investment for your home. Choose from our huge in-stock selection or design your door your way using our free step-by-step design program. Visit us today in store or on Menards.com to shop all Mastercraft doors. Plus, check out the weekly flyer for all our great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Get your aches and pains under control and bring back your energy. Whether it's headaches, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, time and repetition is key to staying on the right track. I've been seeing Dr. Alex and his team for 2 years now. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. Connect Chiropractic uses a special tool that is targeted and effective, yet pain-free and gentle. In Delafield and Wauwatosa, and the new location on Rawson Avenue in Oak Creek. Get started at GoConnectChiro.com.
I'm Jim Token, representing the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. There are so many reasons to service your car or truck and buy your next vehicle at one of the 115 Adam member dealers. Adam dealers employ more than 6,500 people in southeastern Wisconsin, which supports thousands of local families. Adam also contributes to many local charities. For example, Adam recently completed their Change Your Oil, Change Lives promotion, benefiting Feeding America of Eastern Wisconsin. Over the past 15 years, they've raised over $953,000, which provided more than 3.8 million meals to people in southeastern Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. These are just a few reasons to service your car or truck and buy your next vehicle from an Adam member dealer instead of a national online company with no ties to our community. To find an Adam member dealer, visit adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
And welcome back to Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. I'm Libby Collins. In about a half an hour, I'm going to play an excerpt of a conversation I had on Friday with Alex Ayala from the Milwaukee Police Association. And those guys are really frustrated that they've been without a contract for nearly 3 years. Think about that and everything that department's gone through during the last 3 years and what those officers on the street are going through. You'll want to listen to it. And again, that's coming up in about half an hour. It's 8:36, and there was a big streak broken. The world's largest air show began, and the governor called it at 2 terms. There was a lot more, too. It's the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
1-0 pitch, and a line drive into center. Coming in is Perkins. He's there. He makes the catch, and the Brewers survive. The Brewers love L.A. They sweep the Dodgers in the City of Angels.
Elliot Hines is a 22-year-old grad student at Viterbo University and hasn't been seen since just before 3:30 Sunday morning.
I love this week. It's one of my favorite weeks every year. EAA Air Venture in Oshkosh is underway.
Yeah! I was blown away, overwhelmed, to be honest with you, a little bit. The amount of people, aircrafts, the facility's amazing. I'm just excited to be here this week.
If you've got the right price, the 33-foot-long abandoned Milwaukee boat could be yours as a public auction begins. I want in-person. Hit the better.
See, that would have been awesome.
Bid 24.
I would say it's priceless.
So I hadn't thought about Hunter Biden in a long time, and apparently
probably since he'd been pardoned.
Is he on?
Is that the last time you thought of him?
Yeah. Now he's on his redemption tour. Apparently,
George Clooney is not a actor. He is a I don't know what he is. He's a brand.
I don't need any Hunter Biden right now.
So much to talk about here with Packers president and CEO Mark Murphy. Just a few days left on the job here, Mark. You just kind of mailing it in, just grabbing your stuff off the desk. What are you doing?
Well, I'm doing a lot of interviews.
I can say that again.
Are we spoiled as Packers fans?
You said it, not me.
If they win tonight, but then lose tomorrow and then rally and get 12 more if it's free burgers again this season.
We'll have to see about that.
The next day. Breaking ball, hit on the ground to third. Williamson up with it, throws to second in time, and the Mariners have snapped the Brewers' 11-game winning streak.
We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
Ozzy Osbourne passed away peacefully surrounded by his family, age 76.
A tragic end to the search for a missing woman in La Crosse.
The body of missing 22-year-old Elliot Hines has been recovered from the Mississippi River. La Crosse police say the body was found Wednesday morning near Brownsville, Minnesota.
You could see that something was there, not a log. The La Crosse team were down here quite quick. It's only 7 miles.
Milwaukee County Executive
There's
David
a press
Crowley.
release.
Yes. Crowley, Airport Director Brian Dranzik, and V&J Food CEO are going to celebrate the opening of the new Cinnabon an Aunt Anne's location at the airport.
Uh-oh. It's another instance of, is this news conference worthy?
No!
Well, some breaking news. Wrestling icon Hulk Hogan has died at 71.
Everybody knows that Hulkamania is the strongest force in this universe. Let me ask you something, brother. Who wants peas?
I am joined by Mayor of Milwaukee, Cavalier Johnson.
Like, I don't want for kids in Milwaukee to go out there and say, I want to work or I want to participate in a program and then not be able to afford it, not be able to participate. I think that's something that's within our capacity.
It's in breaking news. Governor Tony Evers announces he will not seek re-election for a third term. This coming just moments ago.
Whether I'd win or not has never been part of my calculus about running again. But I'm not done yet.
I have an announcement. I'm running for governor.
Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez is in. Meanwhile, Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley says he will take steps towards entering the race, quote, in the coming weeks.
2026 is getting going pretty fast.
In honor of 25 years of American Family Field and Miller Park baseball, an alumni home run derby is going to take place.
Carlos Gomez and Ryan Braun will draft 2 teams of 5.
I'm still amazed these guys all said yes to this home run derby. I love it.
What a week, eh?
What a week.
Something is always happening on the bus.
Complaining to them about the Wi-Fi.
And that's the Weekend Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. It's 8:41. Coming up in just a couple minutes. Has anybody approached you and said, hey, would you like a new Medicare card that's plastic instead of those paper ones? Don't listen to them. We're going to tell you why right after this on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Our business leaders value downtown Milwaukee.
That's right, Matt. It's a great time to be downtown. I'm Jim Popp, President and CEO of Johnson Financial Group. Our associates love being downtown. They love the energy, the activities, and the business opportunities that you'll only find here in downtown Milwaukee.
Get down to business at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
It is going to be a hot one, and I mean hot. Today we're going to get up to about 92, very humid as well. Sun's going to be shining. It's even going to feel hotter then. A little bit cooler near the lake. Then tonight, our low temperature, we're only going to get into about 73, but it's going to be very muggy. Then tomorrow, even warmer than today, hot and humid, 92. It is going to feel like it's between 100 and 105 degrees in the afternoon tomorrow. So we're talking some dangerous heat. There might be a little relief with a thunderstorm, and then Tuesday, a little bit cooling off. What's cooling off? 85 for a high. Again, another chance of storms. Same thing Wednesday, but we'll be back down to around 75 degrees. We've got 78 at 8:44 on WTMJ. Well, when you hit that 65th birthday, they mail you a card. Who am I talking about? It's Medicare, but you better watch out. There are still scammers who are trying to take advantage of you. And joining us on our Sounding Unlimited talk and text line is our consumer expert from DATCAT, Michelle Reinen. And what are you hearing about Medicare cards and how people are getting scammed?
Well, we are hearing that there are imposters out there trying to represent the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services and the Wisconsin Department of Administration. They are calling consumers, telling them they need to upgrade to a new plastic Medicare card, but this is really just a ploy to steal private information. There is no paper versus plastic option out there. It's a paper card, so let's not fall for this one.
All right, so what do you do if you get one of those phone calls or texts?
Well, a very common tactic used in these scams is for scammers to assist beneficiaries with enrolling, filing paperwork, improving coverage, or finding savings. So be aware that real government agencies will not contact consumers by phone to change their Medicare card. Real Medicare cards only need to be replaced if they're lost, damaged, or compromised by a scammer. And so beneficiaries and their assistants should never provide their Medicare number, Social Security number, or other private information to a cold caller.
And Social Security is never really going to just call you out of a clear blue sky, are they?
No, they are not. And neither is Medicare. They'll return calls, but they're not going to call you out of the blue. These aren't the cold callers that are out there trying to get your attention.
So if somebody tries to reach out to you and tells you that they're going to get you a different card, how can you check that out? How can you verify it with Medicare?
Well, you can contact Medicare directly yourself by calling 1-800-MEDICARE, 1-800-633-4227. They want to know about the scam circulating, but they'll also validate if they need information from you, but that's when you initiate the phone call to them.
And again, if you think you're being taken advantage of, who do we call?
Call the Consumer Protection Hotline at 1-800-422-7128.
846 Sports and Mark Hurt right after this.
Remember mixtapes?
Mixtape? Can you buy that at the hardware store?
It's not that kind of tape.
To make a mixtape, you would dub all your favorite songs onto one cassette.
Oh, I was more of an 8-track guy myself.
You know, the new Marshfield 7000 Sulfa at Penny Mustard reminds me of the world's greatest mixtape.
We have taken the latest and greatest components of every Penny Mustard configurable sofa and mixed them all together into one.
The Marshfield 7000 is the ultimate sofa.
It's absolutely stunning.
And the comfort level is off the charts.
I definitely see this sofa going all the way to number 1.
It's kind of like a greatest hits album, except you can sit on it.
The Marshfield 7000 Sofa, made in Wisconsin with a solid wood frame and hundreds of fabric and leather options, starting at just $21.26 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers lost their second of 3 games against the Miami Marlins last night, despite a good start from the crew. Pat Murphy says the Marlins just play some good baseball.
I'm not sure if people understand it or not. It's not my job to worry what they understand or not, but that's a really good team, and they're playing really good. With this stretch right here, they're playing as good as anybody, and it's tougher for us to play this game than it is to get up for a team that has all the stars that you recognize, and so we play a little different role. We're not the underdog.
The Brewers and the Marlins meet one more time this afternoon before the crew takes on the Cubs here in Milwaukee. First pitch today is at 1:10. Our coverage starts at noon with Brewers warm-up with Dominic Cotroneo here on WTMJ. I'm Mark Wart for WTMJ Sports.
It is going to be very, very hot today, so hold on to your hats. Make sure it's a straw one, though, because it is going to be warm. Hot, humid, mostly sunny, 92 inland, 88 near the lake. Tomorrow, even warmer. We're expecting a heat index of 100 to 105 in the afternoon. Right now, 78 degrees at 8:48 on WTMJ. And this past week, we lost a number of performers we all grew up with. Well, Sandy Max is going to tell us about them, including a very surprising connection to Milwaukee. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is here for you, bringing you the latest headlines with John McCure.
Because what's going on with the Epstein case, and now there's talks that DOJ is going to talk to Ghislaine Maxwell.
And diving into the details with Julia Fellow.
And House Speaker Johnson was on a podcast just last week, complete about face. He's not going to have the House come back until September.
Tune in to Wisconsin's afternoon news, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m., only here on WTMJ.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, reminding you to double-check your home. Siding Unlimited is the proven exteriors professionals for 31 years. Family-owned and locally operated right here in Wisconsin. Call Siding Unlimited and visit sidingunlimited.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
It's that time of the week. We're going to check in with Sandy Max with Sunday What's on Tap. And Sandy, it was kind of a sad week this week because we lost so many people that a lot of people grew up with and really loved. Let's start with Ozzy Osbourne.
Man, the godfather of heavy metal and a reality star favorite. Remember the Osbournes? That was almost 20 years ago. That was when reality shows were just starting. And we got a window to the world of Ozzy and Sharon.
I don't know if you noticed, we played Crazy Train here. That wasn't Ozzy's version of it. That was Pat Boone's, which was the theme song for the Osbournes. And you know why? Pat Boone was a neighbor, and apparently he and Ozzy were very good friends.
And I completely believe that because everybody in my circle, as soon as it was announced that Ozzy had passed away, after being so ill for so long, everybody that I know had photos with him and had met him because I've got a lot of radio friends.
Oh, sure.
But like every single person said what a nice man he was and how much fun it was to talk with him. And we even got a text on the WTMJ Siding Unlimited talk and text line. One of our listeners met Ozzy at one of the record stores here in the 70s and has a photo with him and got him to sign her forearm. I mean, we're just like, that's how far back, and remember how many years in a row was Ozfest at Alpine Valley.
That's right.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's been part of music. He's a legend. And really did create heavy metal and the awareness with Black Sabbath and then his own solo career.
And reality TV. There would be no Kardashians if it hadn't been for the Osbournes. And I did read something from the producer of that show.
Yeah.
He said it was more of a documentary because they never knew what that family was going to do. It's not like today where it's all pretty much staged and then producers tell them ahead of time. It was, oh my gosh, they're leaving, get in the car, follow them. We don't know where they're going.
Yeah, less produced, so it really was more reality TV. That's funny. But, bless his heart, he was so ill for so long. Yeah. Ozzy was supposed to play Summerfest in 2019 and had to cancel due to illness, and then was supposed to play in 2020. So we didn't get to see Ozzy at Summerfest, but we did see him at the beginning of July playing a farewell concert in his hometown of Birmingham. He was sitting in a throne because of his mobility. But, man, he gave smiles. That concert raised $190 million for charity.
Unbelievable.
I mean, think about the ripple effect that he's leaving a great legacy of poetry in his lyrics and musical artistry and a memorable figure. And, yes, the legend of him eating a bat head. But he did so much good. And I don't think that anybody watching that show that was streamed worldwide 3 weeks ago thought that was truly the last time we were going to see Ozzy.
Yeah, it was so sad because he had Parkinson's disease, which is devastating, and he had been battling that since the early
2003 for 20 years now.
Yeah, but didn't tell anybody until around 2020. All right, let's move to another big loss. A lot of people watched him growing up. Malcolm Jamal Warner on The Cosby Show.
Theo Huxtable, and 54 years old, and a fit man, and lost his life caught in a rip current outside Costa Rica on a family vacation. Yeah. What a crushing, unexpected, sad, tragic ending to a really creative man. His accomplishments, he had a lot of accomplishments creatively, but I think one of the big ones is the transition from being a child star into being a continuing creator, because, a lot of child stars don't evolve into that. They hit the problems of fame and don't grow or have other familial or business issues. And Malcolm Jamal Warner really was able to step into that role that The Cosby Show provided a gateway of, like, oh, look, here's a middle-class African-American family, a
upper
successful,
middle class, really,
I was just going to say, Dr. Huxtable,
with a wife who was an attorney.
That's what I was just going to say. So, but to portray an African-American family in that way, with the brothers and sisters, and with comedy, and with a familial sense, he really continued that. He had his own podcast called Not the Hood to continue shining a light on Black culture, and then he was a spoken word artist and a bass player.
And still was doing acting. Do you remember he played Al Cowling in the OJ thing with the Ryan Murphy take on it? Yeah.
And he was in Malcolm and Eddie, Read Between the Lines, The Magic School Bus. So he really was a continuing producer, director, actor, and creative force. And so it really is sad.
And most recently, The Resident.
Yes.
That was another one of his shows. Yeah, big loss. And how tragic that his 8-year-old was in the water with him. I mean, that poor little girl.
Yeah.
All right. Another one, and there's a local connection to this, and that is Chuck Mangione. Now, he was a little older, so I don't think we were quite as surprised that we lost him this week.
He passed away in his sleep at age 84. But listen to this song. This Feels So Good. This is one of those songs that permeated radio in the 70s because Chuck Mangione and his flugelhorn here managed to bridge a gap between jazz music and pop music with this song. I was convinced it was a TV theme song, but it isn't. It just has that sound, but it was used in a lot of films. Heck, you've heard it in Doctor Strange, in Friends, in The Simpsons, but where you really heard this song and where Chuck Mangione got a second life after the 70s as a musician is in the cartoon series King of the Hill.
Yeah. And I was in the newsroom when the story broke about him, and one of the guys said, not Chuck Mangione from King of the Hill. And I turned around and I said, what?
Yeah, King of the Hill.
But a whole other generation found him through that.
And made him this funny character that was inside this Walmart type of store and just weaved him in. And he voiced the character. Yeah. He has a sense of humor. So to know that Chuck Mangione embraced that, but was a real music educator and devoted to that and spreading the word of jazz music. So he really lived a life and leaves a legacy of music. And interestingly, Chuck Mangione's cousin, Mike Mangione, is a Milwaukee musician.
Is he really?
Still performing. Yeah, his music is not jazz. It's more Americana, guitar-based kind of coffee shop. And he performed at Summerfest earlier this year. So keep your eye out for Mike Mangione. You will see some Mangione DNA.
Oh, that's fascinating. And I think the one that really affected me more than any, and I really felt bad about Ozzy.
And all these pop culture passings this week. Good Lord.
The Hulk, I couldn't believe it. Because you'd look at him and he looked like the picture of health and like he'd live forever.
He was buff.
Certainly didn't look his age.
I would say you saw him last year at the Republican National Convention, ripping his shirt off.
Yep, here's the picture of it right here. If you're streaming us or watching us on Facebook right now, we've got the Hulk's picture up. And wow, that one affected me. Of course, my son's a professional wrestler, so it probably affected me a little bit more than a lot of other people.
Well, and he was so much more than wrestling. He was a real entertainer. Yeah. I mean, he's part of pop culture. And when wrestling was getting huge in the 80s, he was part of all those original WrestleManias as the headliner. He wrestled here in 1989 at the Bradley Center with Randy Savage, and people remember that big main event too. He really created a ripple and Hulkamania. As soon as you say it, I see red and yellow.
Yeah.
The T-shirts, the headbands, and brother,
and had his own reality show and
cartoon show. Yeah, you're right. And he also had his own beer. There's a Wisconsin connection there. Remember last year he brought out Real American Beer working with City Brewing in La Crosse.
But for those of us who were at the RNC, I don't think we will ever forget that moment when he walked out on stage and ripped his shirt off. That was really something. As a matter of fact, Sandy, next hour we're going to be talking with Frankie DeFalco from Bruce City Wrestling, who knew Hulk Hogan, and we're going to talk to him about some of his memories and what he meant to the wrestling community. But Sandy, sad week this week.
Yeah.
4 people. You usually say it comes in 3s. This is 4. So let's hope we don't have another week like this for a long time.
Wrap some people in bubble wrap.
Yeah. Love the ones you're with. All right, listen. Sandy Max, what's on tap? What's on tap this week?
Preparing for live broadcasts from the Wisconsin State Fair. Here they come.
Cannot wait to see who you have in the studio this year. Sandy, always great to have you here.
Thanks, Libby.
And in addition to hearing from Frankie DeFalco from Bruce City Wrestling about his memories of Hulk Hogan, right after the news, we're going to be sharing a portion of the WTMJ conversation that I had on Friday with President of the Milwaukee Police Association, Alex Ayala. They are really upset that they don't have a contract yet. And you're going to hear it directly from that president. It's all coming up on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
WTMJ, Steve Scafidi here. Will rates go up or down? We'll know more on July 30th. That's when the Fed announces its next rate decision. Join Annex Wealth Management's chief economist, Dr. Brian Jacobson, for Instant Insight at 3 p.m. on July 30th. Instant Insight is when Annex goes live after important announcements like the Fed's announcement to help explain what it means for you and your money. When it comes to your financial future, a bit of expert insight could help you understand what's going on. Register now at WTMJ.com or events at AnnexWealth.com. July 30th at 3 p.m. live after the Fed announcement.
With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
We're not just after any old fish. We want the catch of the day.
Diving and making an incredible catch is Isaac Collins.
The Brewers host the Marlins in Milwaukee. Our Brewers game day coverage starts today at noon with Brewers warm-up on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 9 o'clock, it's 78 degrees in Milwaukee today. Hot, humid, and mostly sunny with a high of 88 near the lake. And tonight, a low of 73 from the WTMJ Breaking News Center. I'm Nazir Spencer. A man is in custody after 11 people were stabbed inside a Walmart in Traverse City, Michigan. Police say a 42-year-old man started randomly stabbing people with a folding knife near the checkout area Saturday night. Sheriff Michael Shea.
Based on the information that we have at this time, it appears there were random acts. The victims were not predetermined.
6 victims are in critical condition. The Wisconsin Department of Justice is investigating a deadly police shooting in De Pere. Officials say around 1 a.m. Saturday, July 26th, officers responded to the Prokofsky boat launch after reports of a person with a rifle. Authorities from De Pere, Ashwaubenon, and the Brown County Sheriff's Office tried to negotiate, but the individual displayed the weapon. This prompted officers from De Pere and Ashwaubenon to open fire. The person was pronounced dead at the scene. Frustrated with the progress of the negotiations, that's the feeling of police officers as the city of Milwaukee delays another negotiation on their contract. President of the Milwaukee Police Association, Alexander Ayala, tells WTMJ officers can't strike per state law, so their only option is the blue flu.
Blue flu is when police officers call in sick because they cannot strike. So you will have a shortage of staffing if people call in sick.
Hear the whole interview with Alex Ayala on WTMJ Conversations Sunday, August 3rd at 11 a.m. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:04.
Hey, WTMJ's John Rourke here for Certa Pro Painters. They painted the exterior of our house. I loved it because they're thorough and they're thoughtful. As a matter of fact, they pointed out some wood that might need to eventually be replaced. They just looked at the whole house, and I felt like they absolutely cared. Get on Certa Pro's calendar right now. The summer sales discount goes through July 31st. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C for your home or business. They'll do it the right way the first time. Each Certa Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated. It's Certa Pro Painters.
For senior living where comfort meets community, welcome to the Waters of Pewaukee, an experience designed with you in mind. Enjoy beautiful, spacious apartments, chef-prepared meals, and enriching daily activities that bring joy and purpose. Whether it's independent living, assisted care, or memory support, you'll find a compassionate staff, modern amenities, and the peace of mind you deserve at the Waters of Pewaukee. You're not just moving in, you're coming home. Schedule a tour and learn more today at thewaters.com.
This week on What's on Tap, we served up something extra special. We talked with the talented chef behind the all-new sushi experience at St. Kate, the Arts Hotel. Discover how St. Kate is blending artistry and flavor with their exciting new sushi menu, crafted with the freshest ingredients, finest seafood, and a whole lot of creativity. Ready for your next unforgettable night out? Find the interview on WTMJ.com or the What's on Tap podcast. Learn more about the new sushi menu at stkatearts.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
Hey, it's your favorite car dealer, Honest Eddie. Is it true that there are no employees at Hasselus Mattress?
It's true. Give the mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy. And through Monday, get additional instant savings of $248 off Sealy Posturepedic and Beauty Rest.
Son, you gotta pressure people. Like, what do I have to do to get you into a new mattress today?
Uh-oh, you're breaking up. Gotta go.
Wait, no, let me talk to my manager.
Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All sports desk. The Brewers lose against the Miami Marlins once again on Saturday, stretching their lose streak to 2 games. They have a chance to take a win in this series against the Marlins this afternoon at 1:10. Brewers warm-up begins at 12:05 right here on WTMJ. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. No major issues, no major delays, and full freeway speeds across the system.
Traffic is sponsored by Rejuvenix Arthritis Pain Clinics. Go to rejuvenix.com for an appointment.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
Here's your WTMJ forecast today. Any fog lifts, otherwise hot, humid, and mostly sunny with a high of 88 near the lake and 92 inland. Tonight, warm and muggy with increasing clouds with a low of 73. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 78 degrees. I'm Nasir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:07.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. And now it's time for New at 9.
And Nazir, you just had the story about, with the comment from the president of the Milwaukee Police Association, Alex Ayala, and some of his frustration with they're not having a contract. Let me give you a little background. So I had scheduled a WTMJ conversation with Alex for Friday. Right. I mean, it had been on the books for at least a few days. And it just so happened he got here on Friday just after learning that there was going to be another delay in negotiations for their contract. Now, you got to keep in mind that the officers in the Milwaukee Police Department have not had a contract for nearly 3 years.
Right after the pandemic, too.
And here's the thing, is there has been delay after delay after delay. And in fact, this particular contract that they're still negotiating for expires at the end of this year. So, I mean, even if they get an agreement, they already have to start working on another one. But he had learned just a few hours before that instead of having an arbitration, they didn't want to have to go to arbitration. But but it's gotten to that point. They had to go to arbitration. That it was scheduled for August. And because they had the city had once again lost the representative who was going to be at the arbitration for them, they have to start all over again because they're bringing in a new representative who has to get caught up. And that means the very earliest they're going to have arbitration now is September for a contract that expires at the end of the year that still hasn't been resolved. So I spoke with a very, very frustrated president of the Milwaukee Police Association, and here's some of what Alex Ayala had to say. Are you willing to negotiate?
We are willing to negotiate a fair offer from the city. If the mayor was to say, hey, I'll give you guys a fair wage offer, yes, that's definitely something we will talk about and contemplate. But the city has made no efforts. The offers that they've made have been non-acceptable.
Now, you can't strike.
No, we cannot strike. So we are also put in a situation where if we were shipping container operators or bus drivers or teachers, we can definitely strike. But police officers are not allowed to strike. It's against state law.
But we've heard the term blue flu.
Yes, we have. Yeah, that's a term that's going around, just like a cold. It goes around.
What do you mean?
Blue flu is when police officers call in sick because they cannot strike. So you will have a shortage of staffing if people call in sick.
Have you seen that occur?
I think the last time we saw that occur in Milwaukee was back in the 70s. And then I think the law was made so that you couldn't strike. But that goes to show you, though, that we are professional, that we come to work every day. Even under these circumstances, not having a contract for 3 years, we still put on that badge, come to work, and make sure that the citizens of Milwaukee are protected, and we still don't have a contract. And that's a shame.
Is there anything else you want in that contract other than a raise?
We're asking for some administrative things, and there's very minute things that we will be willing to oversee. But the wages part is what gets me. To have a mayor that has agreed to give raises to himself, other heads of departments, our chief has gotten a raise, the fire chief got a raise, and those guys might as well deserve it. That's fine. But why is it that the police officers have not gotten a raise? And that is a big problem that I have with this mayor.
How supportive is the police chief, Chief Norman?
Chief Norman does what he can with what he has. I know he's short-staffed. I try to have a good relationship with Chief Norman. I don't know if it's in his preview to ask the mayor for us to have a raise. But if he's listening and if he will listen to this, I really urge him to advocate for his police officers to the mayor. I think nothing prohibits him from saying, hey, pay my guys what they deserve. And I think the chief would agree to that. I think the chief wants his officers to be the best paid officers in the whole state.
What about aldermen?
We get some support, a lot of support from aldermen. Not everyone, but I think the aldermen are supportive of our cause. But right now, it's out of their hands. Right now, it's on the mayor's court. And all this going around in circles has been the mayor's fault.
In your opinion, what is it that is keeping the mayor from negotiating that contract with you?
I don't know. I think that mayor needs to be asked that question. I don't know if it's just money or it's a principle. I hope it's just money, because if he has a principle that we don't deserve that, then he's lying when he's getting in front of microphones and saying how at the funeral of Officer Kendall or at the press conference saying, I care about my police officers. Is it only when they get shot? Or do you care about your police officers on a daily basis and their economic status and their wages and the way they're living? So is it just when an officer gets shot and it's good for a press conference? Or is it, did you really care when none of that stuff is happening? And that's the problem that I have. It only seems to be happening when an officer gets shot or when an officer gets hurt. It's a quick press conference to say, I care about my police officers, but then you show us something else behind closed doors.
And when that occurs, what do you hear from the rank and file? What do the guys say after these press
They're
conferences?
pissed. I mean, they go to social media, they call our office, and they are just as frustrated, if not more, like me. It's this frustration that I don't think anybody can comprehend. We cannot strike. We still have to come to work and protect the city of Milwaukee, which we love doing, but you're not paying us our fair wages. But then we see everybody else getting their contract settled or getting raises except us. That puts a bad taste in officers' mouth.
Can you blame him for being frustrated?
Can't. I mean, he brought up a lot of great points.
Well, in addition, I mean, you have to remember, it seems like the streets are getting more dangerous.
Exactly, yeah.
They've
dying,
lost 6 officers in 7 years.
Yep.
And no contract for nearly 3 years yet each and every officer, they show up when they're supposed to. And I think I've done this a lot longer than you.
Yeah.
I have never talked with somebody who's a first responder representing a union who has been as frustrated as this ever, anywhere. And I think he made some excellent points. You will be able to hear my entire conversation with Alex Ayala, the president of the Milwaukee Police Association. Now, that's going to be a week from today. 11 o'clock in the morning on WTMJ Conversations. We'll have everything. And he talks about the background of how they got to where they are today. There's so much in that conversation. You won't want to miss it. And again, that's next Sunday on WTMJ Conversations. It's 9:15. You're a couple minutes away from Sports with Morecourt on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Hey, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Hey, Joe. To what do we owe the honor?
Don't you have CEO-type things you need to be doing?
Or Joe might be here because he's been doing some CEO-type things that he thinks we should know about.
Bingo! You guessed it, Monica.
What do you need us to do, Joe?
Well, I'm here because I want to present an idea to you.
Cool. What is it?
I'd been talking with finance companies and was able to make a deal for 18-month financing at 0% interest with a $750 or more purchase.
And your idea was to offer 18-month 0% financing to all of our customers?
It's subject to credit approval, but yeah, that's what I was thinking.
How long will we be able to do it?
From July 1st to July 31st.
0% will let people buy diamonds that were on their bucket list.
I know what I'm buying.
I'm going on a shopping spree. I'm going to have more jewelry than the Queen of England.
So you like the idea?
We don't like it. We love it.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
I've always believed that great service makes all the difference. At Waterstone Bank, it's more than just banking. It's personal. When I needed help choosing an account, my banker took the time to understand my needs and guided me through my options. Thanks to her advice, I can watch my money grow, knowing it's secure.
Welcome to your Waterstone Bank, where community and personal service come together. Member FDIC.
Summer is finally here. We're outside and maybe noticing the condition of our old windows. Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors, your local experts in stylish, energy-efficient replacement windows. Boost your curb appeal with top brands like Pella, Anderson, and Marvin, tailored to fit your home, your style, and your budget. Plus, installation by employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, fiberglass, all on display in their newly remodeled New Berlin showroom. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. Visit hometownwindows.com today.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk.
Stowers moves from left to right, and the first pitch to Vaughn. A fly ball into center field. It is deep, and it is gone. Andrew Vaughn hits a home run, and it's 7-4.
That was the final run for the Brewers last night, a leadoff solo homer in the ninth from first baseman Andrew Vaughn. They lost to the Marlins in a 7-4 ball game. The Brewers and the Marlins meet one more time this afternoon before the Crew takes on the Cubs here in Milwaukee. First pitch today is at 1:10. Our coverage starts at noon with Brewers warm-up with Dominic Cotroneo. And Packers training camp continues. Their first preseason game is August 9th against the Jets. For WTMJ Sports, I'm Isaac Marquardt.
You know, you didn't mention the sport of champions, wrestling. Did you watch TV wrestling when you were a kid?
Not when I was a kid, only when I moved to Milwaukee and moved in with my best friend who was a huge WWE fan.
Okay, so by that time, though, Hulk Hogan wasn't really wrestling. Because I can remember when my son was little, he had the figure, he had the wrestling ring, and, Hulk Hogan, that was a big, big deal, as it was, I think, for a lot of people growing up, like in the 80s and the 90s. So coming up in just a couple minutes, I had a conversation right after it happened with Frankie DeFalco from Bruce City Wrestling, and he knew Hulk Hogan, and he's shares some memories with us. It's all coming up after this on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
When you're at State Fair this year, be sure to check out the Bank 5-9 main stage featuring amazing acts like Boys to Men, Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias, and Darius Rucker. Tickets are on sale now. Bank 5-9 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they have served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Bank 5-9 between July 31st and August 10th. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, representing the auto dealers of Metro Milwaukee. Did you know that Adam member dealers employ more than 6,500 people? Plus, Adam recently completed their 15th annual Feeding America Change Your Oil campaign. To date, Adam has donated over $953,000, which provided over 3.8 million meals. Start your next car search by finding an Adam member dealer at adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. When Tri-City National Bank decided to optimize their print output strategy, they needed a resource with the expertise to recommend a solution. CIO Robert Prang.
And James helped us with that analysis of what our print consumption was and what we were doing.
The outcome of the James Imaging Systems Managed Print Services recommendation?
We ended up reducing down to about 97 total printers and copiers from 197.
The impact on your print output?
We eliminated over 500,000 pages a month of output that we figured out we really didn't need.
Month after month, that adds up to savings and value.
Oh, tons of value. Those numbers add up even when it's only a penny or so per page.
Managed Print Services from James Imaging Systems. AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation. To learn more, visit jamesimaging.com.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey, Wisconsin, are you feeling summer? Then it's time to feel cheesy. It's time to feel good. July 31st through August 10th, only at the Wisconsin State Fair. Presented by U.S. Cellular.
Many people were shocked on Thursday when they heard the news that Hulk Hogan had passed away. Well, joining us on our Sodding Unlimited talk and text line is Frankie DeFalco. He, of course, is from Bruce City Wrestling, and nobody knows wrestlers like Frankie does. And Frankie, what was your reaction? Had you heard through the grapevine that anything was wrong with him?
Yeah, I got a phone call at about 8:30 a.m. letting me know that the Hulkster had passed away. My jaw just dropped. In fact, I'm still feeling the effects of it right now.
Why did he have such an impact on you?
He created a lot of advantages for wrestlers, especially if the wrestlers underneath were on a card that he was on. That was going to be more money in their pocket for him. A lot of opportunities he created for that as well. Back in the 80s, even before that, when he was Sterling Golden, and then he became Hulk Hogan in the WWF. That was just basically the beginning for him.
Frankie, I don't think you ever wrestled Hulk Hogan, but had you ever met him?
I met him several times. He's a great guy, down to earth. He always looks out for the underneath guys, and he was a great family man and a great friend.
Was that unusual for somebody of his stature in the wrestling profession to be that nice to guys who weren't well known?
Not at all, because in his stature, it was basically his job. In professional wrestling, whether you're on top or you're underneath, you always have to stay humble. And if you're not humble, you're going to be considered not very liked. I had another word in mind for that, but I'll go with not very liked. And Hulkster had his ways. You know, a lot of people didn't look at him that way, but he did take care of a lot of people.
Was there anything he ever said to you that stuck with you?
Yeah, he just said, you know, stay looking forward when we had a show here in Milwaukee. And I just asked him for some advice, and he said, brother, just, you know, in his, well, brother, and he's like, just stay positive, stay humble, and just stay looking forward. Help those out underneath you as well.
Where did Hulk get his start?
He started down in the Memphis area, and then Vince McMahon Sr. picked him up, and then he had his run in the WWF back in the 80s, and then he went to the AWA with Vern Gagne, and that's where Hulkamania basically started, with the ripping off of the T-shirt and everything else that was created. Hulkamania started in the AWA.
How did wrestling change once Hulk really hit it big with WWF?
That's when Vince McMahon Jr. went worldwide. And being just on, instead of regular TV, cable, they went nationwide, worldwide with the product headlining with Hulk Hogan. And that's basically where the whole industry changed.
We're talking with Frankie DeFalco. He is with Bruce City Wrestling, and we're talking about the death of Hulk Hogan and what it meant for professional wrestling. Early on, he was huge. Kids liked him. Women loved him. Everybody came to see his matches. Every kid in America seemed like they had a Hulk figurine. But things changed for him in sort of the early 2000s when he was involved in a couple of things that were considered a little bit not family friendly.
Yeah, he got caught up in that steroid scandal with the WWF and Vince McMahon. And then he was prosecutor's top witness, and he flipped the switch and didn't rat out Vince McMahon Jr. So that was one where he was saying that, say your prayers, take your vitamins, but he left out the part about taking steroids. But that's him. You know, he wanted to stay big. But then there was that scandal not too long ago where he used an inappropriate word where he didn't know he was being taped. It was a very racial slander that he used, and it got out in the media, and WWE took him off of their website. Just basically didn't use him anymore. And the other one was where he filmed an explicit movie scene, whatever, with a so-called friend of his, girlfriend or wife, and he put that out on the social media as well, too. So, you know, being Hulk Hogan, he's at the top of the world. He's got to basically keep his nose clean, and he didn't do that, unfortunately.
Well, they stripped him from what, the Hall of Fame, Wrestling Hall of Fame?
The Hall of Fame, yeah. Yeah, they took it off the website and everything else, and then after he apologized worldwide and to certain people in the back of the WWE, they brought him back in.
Do you think that there will ever be another Hulk Hogan?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Roman Reigns maybe has come close to it, but no, there'll never be another Hulk Hogan.
Frankie, I know with Bruce City Wrestling, and I'm sure all of your wrestlers are feeling the pain of this loss right now, but you've got a really big event coming up in a couple weeks. Tell us about that.
Yeah, August 8th, we are going to be a part of the Milwaukee Brewers Cerveceros Day, and we are going to put on two huge professional wrestling shows over at American Family Field. The first one's going to be at 5:40 p.m., and then the second one will be right after the game ends.
Where's the ring going to be set up?
As of right now, it's going to be in the concourse, but that could change. They're still talking with their legal team.
Have you decided which of your wrestlers are going to be part of that?
I got Yeti, of course. You remember him, and One Man Riot Squad, Gunnar Wicks. I got two guys from Mexico, Bandolero and Electricito, which means electricity in Spanish. Demented Chucky Bates is going to be there, and I also got a women's match.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people will come early for the game and stick around afterwards to see the Bruce City Wrestlers at the Brewers game. Frankie,
and if you ever want to find out more about the stars of Bruce City Wrestling, go to BruceCityWrestling.com.
Of course. Frankie DeFalco, it's always great to talk with you. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Libby. Have yourself a great day.
And it's 9:28, 78 degrees at WTMJ.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Coming up to 9:30, and we've got Nazir Spencer in the WTMJ Breaking News Center. There's a police-involved shooting of a suspect in De Pere, I understand. Tell us more about it.
Yep, thank you, Libby. The Wisconsin Department of Justice is investigating a deadly police shooting in De Pere. Officials say around 1 a.m. Saturday, officers responded to the Perkovsky boat launch after reports of a person with a rifle. Authorities from De Pere, Schwabenau, and the Brown County Sheriff's Office tried to negotiate, but the individual displayed the weapon, which prompted officers from De Pere and Schwabenau to open fire. The person was pronounced dead at the scene. Early autopsy results in the death of a woman who went missing from La Crosse. Police say there is no evidence of criminal conduct in the death of 22-year-old Elliot Hines from Hortonville. She went missing early Sunday morning in downtown La Crosse. Her body was discovered in the Mississippi River Wednesday morning by officials in Brownsville, Minnesota. Hines was a graduate student studying mental health counseling at Viterbo University. Final autopsy results won't be completed for several months. Creating a task force to help identify why there are few investigations around missing or murdered black women in Wisconsin. Mother of Sade Robinson and Sheena Scarborough is asking for lawmakers in Madison to consider her proposed task force. State Representative Sheila Stubbs reintroduced the legislation on the state assembly floor Friday afternoon. A bill with a similar proposal died in committee 4 years ago, but activists say they are committed to getting it through the State House this time. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. No major issues, no major delays, and full freeway speeds across the system. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, any fog lifts, otherwise hot, humid, and mostly sunny with a high of 88 near the lake and 92 inland. Tonight, warm and muggy with increasing clouds with a low of 73. Monday, partly cloudy, hot and humid with a slight chance of showers or storms and a high of 92. Heat index up to 100 and 105 in the afternoon. Tuesday, partly cloudy with a chance of showers, high of 85. Wednesday, mostly cloudy and more comfortable with a chance of showers, a high of 75, and Thursday, partly cloudy and nice with a high of 76. Right now, in La Crosse, it's 77, in Franklin, it's 82, and in Milwaukee, it's 80 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:32.
That is one hot forecast, Nazir. And just think about it. If you're hot, think of how hot it is when you take your dog out, especially when they put their paws on that asphalt. Ow, ow.
Think about that.
Well, in just a couple minutes, we're talking with the brand new president of the American Veterinary Association, and he's got some tips for us, and one for kitties that I bet you haven't been thinking about. It's all coming up after this on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. They're the best in the business. They are CertaPro painters. Now's the time to get on their schedule. Their summer sales discount goes through the end of July. Do it now. They painted our house, the outside, absolutely fantastic. They're kind, they're thoughtful. They moved our patio furniture out of the way and moved it right back where it belonged. It is CertaPro painters. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. For your home or business, they're the best. Each CertaPro painters business is independently owned and operated.
And welcome back to the final half hour of Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. I'm Libby Collins. And yes, it's going to be a couple of hot ones, isn't it? Well, we've been experiencing some pretty warm days. And if it's affecting us, think of how it's affecting your pets, especially your dogs. Well, joining us on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line is the brand new president of the American Veterinary Medical Association, Dr. Michael Bailey. And Doctor, I know you see hundreds of dogs every week in your practice. What is it about dogs that we're not thinking of when we go outside?
Well, you have to look at that from both ends. Pets are especially vulnerable to heat, particularly during heat waves because of humidity, which makes it harder for them to stay cool. But at the same time, if it's hot for you, it's hot for them. So to keep them safe, let's give them access to fresh, cool water, shade, avoid vigorous activity during the hottest part of the day. Never, ever, ever leave pets in a parked car. Would you leave your child in a parked car? And that's even with the air conditioning running, because modern cars have timers that will shut your car off. And watch for signs of overheating, such as excessive panting, lethargy, and difficulty breathing. And if there's any questions, contact your veterinarian.
You know what I've always wondered? Asphalt and concrete. When I see people walking their pets on a hot day, that's got to feel horrible for those poor dogs.
Put your hand on that asphalt. You'll get your answer just right there. But this is what it comes down to. That's one of the reasons why you try and walk them during the coolest part of the day, never during the hottest. So go very early in the morning, late in the evening. Even then, the asphalt and the concrete can be hot. But what you do is you want to try and stay off of those surfaces. Walk on grass, walk on cooler surfaces. I tell people, carry a damp washcloth with you, so if you really do have to walk across that, wipe their pads down really quickly, which will help them cool down.
Now, what about the sun? You and I'm sure we both put on SPF sunscreen and all of that, but we don't necessarily think about our dogs as being susceptible to sunburn.
Well, let's include cats in this conversation too. We don't think about the fact that, yes, they can be susceptible to sunburn. They can get skin cancer just like humans can, particularly dogs and cats that have very light skin around their nose or on different parts of their body. They are especially susceptible to the sun. So that's why we want to be sure that they have shade. As far as putting on sunscreen, talk to your veterinarian, because every pet is different. So I don't want to be giving you a general suggestion when there may be something specific that needs to be considered for your particular pet. And cats, They love just lying in that window because they're getting their bellies warmed and whatnot. However, they can stay in there too long. They can get dehydrated. They can get skin cancer also. So let's try to encourage them to move out of the window after, half an hour at the most.
I had never thought of that. Now, when do we know that your pet has had enough heat, that stress is really getting to them? Are there signs to look for?
Yes. Once again, each pet is different. And you have to remember this. If your pet has a medical condition, such as a respiratory problem or heart disease, they are going to be even more susceptible. They are going to start showing signs quicker because their physiologic condition, their bodies are going to be overwhelmed by the heat. But what we're going to be looking for is that excessive panting, especially cats. If you see them open mouth breathing, they are stressed, they are getting extremely hot. Because remember, they eliminate heat. Unlike us, which we perspire through our skin, they eliminate heat by their breathing, lethargy, difficulty breathing, stumbling, vomiting, diarrhea. And here's the other thing. We have to be sure we keep them hydrated. The average dog needs 20 ounces of water or 2 cups of water for every 20 pounds because that's water. The moisture is what's carrying the heat out of their body. And if they are getting dehydrated, they're going to have a decreased chance of being able to eliminate that heat.
Well, Dr. Bailey, I can't thank you enough for joining us today with all of these tips on how to keep your cats and dogs safe and cool this summer season.
I want to remind you, remember, every pet is different. Brachiocephalic, the short-nosed breeds, are especially susceptible. But if you have questions, talk to your veterinarian. And you can get on avma.org, and there's a lot of good additional information you can get there.
Dr. Michael Bailey, the president of the American Veterinary Medical Association. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Take care. Have fun. Stay safe.
Wow. Miko needs 8 cups of water every time I take him outside. I don't know if I can carry that much. All right, it's 9:39. Coming up in just a couple minutes, you'll hear our little bit of what we're going to be talking about on WTMJ Conversations at 11 o'clock today.
It's worth $100 now to save thousands later. Vince Vitrano for Urban Heating and Cooling, family-owned business. Ryan and his wife, Ellie. I had Ryan out to the Vitrano house for an AC tune-up. Cleaned out all the coils, checked for any issues that could cause breakdowns, set up my air conditioner to run more efficiently all summer. This service available in your home for just $99 plus tax, saving on your electric bills, helping prevent more costly repairs down the road. Tell them Vinny sent you when you call. UrbanHeatingandCooling.com.
We see you out there making the most of every moment, one big bright idea at a time. At Blaine's, we're glad to be part of it by offering best-in-class products and solutions at unbeatable farm and fleet prices. Like Purelator oil filters, 20% off for rewards members, 10% off Carl Star specialty tires. Rewards members save 15%. And Brake Clean Parts Cleaner, $4.99 each. Plus, we offer Blaine's Best Price Promise, guaranteeing the lowest price with us or we'll match it. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Are you or a loved one facing addiction? The Wisconsin Addiction Recovery Helpline offers free and confidential support 24/7. Powered by 211 Wisconsin, local trained specialists can help connect you with local service providers for treatment, peer support, harm reduction tools, and more. Call 211, text your zip code to 898-211, or chat at 211wisconsin.org. Help is waiting. Sponsored by United Way of Wisconsin.
You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be.
Well, not many area businesses have been around since the 1870s, but Joe Kressel, a landscape architect and the owner of Hawks, told me about a letter written from a salesman back in the 1800s. What were some of the things that you found when you were researching the area and researching the history of your company that stood out to you as being very indicative of what life was like then?
What surprises me the most is how little has changed in 150 years. I have one salesperson that worked for the company in 1894, and he would write back to the home office every Monday, and he would then talk about what it was like being a salesperson and walking from farm to farm. And he would talk, you younger guys like to get on your horse and go from farm to farm, and it's much better if you walk, because at the end of the evening they'll always give you a nice warm place to stay in the barn, sleeping on some soft hay, and in the morning at the breakfast table is a place to sign a contract.
Well, the cost to restore and revitalize the Mitchell Park Domes is projected to be about $133 million. Is it worth it? Landscape architect Joe Kressel shared his thoughts. I'm going to throw you a curveball here. What do you think about the domes?
They're going through an interesting stage. I'm wishing them all the luck in the world that they are able to raise the money necessary to do their plan. They've got a good plan in place to change the work that they're doing and expand. I think they have an education element that they're trying to add, and I think it's an important historic part of Milwaukee, and they're kind of a unique building. I've never seen buildings like that before, and I think it's very important that we save those.
We're going to take a look at all those outdoor spaces around the Milwaukee area at 11 o'clock this morning. And by the way, the Wauwatosa Historical Society is presenting an exhibit of artifacts dating back to 1875, which was the year Charles Hawk Sr.'s founded that business that we were talking about. So join us this morning at 11 when I talk with Joe Kressel about what's changed and what has remained the same throughout the past 150 years, right here on WTMJ Conversations. It is going to be extremely warm today. You are going to feel it. So if you're doing anything outside, be prepared to dress for that weather. Bring some water along, and don't be afraid to step into air conditioning when you can, because it's going to be hot, humid, and very sunny. 92 inland, a little bit cooler near the lake, the upper 80s. Then tonight, not much relief with warm and muggy air and only 73 for our low temperature. Plus tomorrow, even warmer. It's going to be cloudy, hot, and humid. High of 92, maybe a chance of showers or thunderstorms later in the day. But that heat index, especially in the afternoon, is going to be about 100 to 105 degrees. So get ready. Then on Tuesday, partly cloudy with a chance of showers or thunderstorms. Cooling down to 85 degrees. It's 79 degrees at 9:45 on WTMJ. Coming up, it's Mark Horton Sports on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Hey, this is Honest Eddie from the car lot down the street.
Hi, Honest Eddie.
Is it true your showrooms don't have any employees?
That's right. Hasselus mattress showrooms are employee-free.
Now, don't you be dishonest with Honest Eddie.
It's true. Give the mattresses a try with no pushy sales guide. And through Monday, get additional instant savings of $248 off Sealy Posturepedic and Beauty Rest.
Son, to make it in sales, you gotta pressure people. Like, what's your budget? Or, I know it's the most expensive model, but trust me, it's the right one for you. And what's it gonna take to get you into a Sealy Posturepedic or Beauty Rest today?
But that's hassling customers.
Yeah, so?
Our store is called Hassle Less Mattress.
Just change the name. How about Wacky Westerns?
Uh-oh, you're breaking up. Gotta go.
Wait, no, let me talk to my manager.
Hasseless Mattress, 100% Eddie free. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hasseless.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers lost their second of 3 games against the Miami Marlins last night, despite a good start from the crew. Pat Murphy says the Marlins are just playing good baseball.
I'm not sure if people understand it or not. It's not my job to worry what they understand or not, but that's a really good team, and they're playing really good. With this stretch right here, they're playing as good as anybody, and it's tougher for us to play this game than it is to get up for a team that has all the stars that you recognize, and so we play a little different role. We're not the underdog.
The Brewers and the Marlins meet one more time this afternoon before the crew takes on the Cubs here in Milwaukee. First pitch today is at 1:10. Our coverage starts at noon with Brewers warm-up. I'm Mark Wart for WTMJ Sports.
The dreaded Cubs are coming to town. Ooh. Stay off of 894. It's 9:47 on WTMJ.
When you're at State Fair this year, be sure to check out the Bank 5-9 Amphitheater, State Fair's largest free entertainment venue, featuring acts like Here Come the Mummies, Hair Bangers Ball, and Pat McCurdy. Bank 5-9 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they've served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Bank 5-9 between July 31st and August 10th. Member FDIC.
Hey, boaters!
We have the go-to marine store. And it's not just because we have all the boat parts and supplies you'll ever need, including oddball parts you thought you'd never be able to find. And it's also because we're cheaper than the other guys, too. So why shop anywhere else? This is Dave Dorrell from Kendor Marine. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
This is Dave Doro from Kendor Marine. When you get here, you might be overwhelmed when you see so much stuff. But don't be, because our staff knows just where to find what you need. They're knowledgeable, friendly, and willing to help so that you can find everything you need to keep your boat in tip-top shape. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters, cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers. Scorching hot at the plate.
Teoscar's at the wall. It is gone, and the Brewers are right back in front.
Lights out on the mound.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Double-digit strikeouts for Quinn Priester. He's got 10.
And burning up the standings.
The best record in baseball belongs to Milwaukee.
The Crew are on fire. It's the Brewers and the Marlins in Milwaukee. Our Brewers game day coverage starts today at 12 with Brewers warm-up. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Tyson's Home Farm Auto is opening a brand new store in Ripon this fall. Tyson's is your go-to store for all things farm and home. Check us out at Tysons.com. That's THEISENS.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
The following is a paid presentation. Advice and opinions expressed during the Sunday Sip are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Welcome to the Sunday Sip. I'm your host, Julia Fellow. Happy Sunday. Each week, we bring you conversations that matter, designed to spark connection in our community. Today, I'm excited to welcome a true leader in reimagining what it means to empower you to create what you want your senior lifestyle to look like. Jennifer LeBoy with the Waters of Pewaukee. Jennifer, welcome to the Sunday Sip.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you so much for having me.
So fun talking to you every time.
Oh, thank you.
I want to take everyone into your world and where you work every day.
Okay.
So this is my experience. Imagine walking to a beautiful, quiet area of Pewaukee off of Highway 164. It sits on 22 acres, the Waters.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful landscapes in Pewaukee. Incredible 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartments that feel like condominiums with a huge master walk-in bath. And then when you walk in on the first floor, it looks like an entrance to a 4-star hotel, truly, with an area that looks like a modern restaurant, incredible food made by full-time chefs who are on staff, because the Waters of Pewaukee has such a thoughtful and empowering approach to assisted living. And I think that many people still picture it as something clinical and cold, don't you think?
Right, absolutely.
But what does the day-to-day really look like, especially at the Waters of Pewaukee?
Well, thank you for that introduction, because a lot of people feel that way when they walk in, and that's how we want them to feel. We want them to walk in, we want families and potential residents to walk in and say, wow, this is what senior living, this is what my life will look like now. Yeah. This isn't our parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, a nursing home, right? You know, that word has this connotation of this is what, that looks like. This is what senior lifestyle, senior living should look like. And we don't want it clinical and cold. We want to say, hey, this is your chapter, and this is what this living looks like now.
True independence.
Absolutely. We want as much independence as possible with the residents. We are there to support where we're needed to support them.
I love that. And it can grow.
Of course, 100%. So, Julie, a lot of the residents, when I meet with families and meet with potential residents, they're independent, right? They're coming from their home, their condominium, and they're looking maybe to downsize, maybe saying, I don't want to handle the yard work, the housework, cleaning, exactly. Laundry, those kind of things. So the Water says, hey, you know what? Let us do those things. You still have your independence, but let us take care of those things that maybe you don't want to do anymore. And with that, maybe comes some support health-wise, right? Maybe it's time that somebody else kind of helps with the medication reminders, okay? Medication reordering, things like that. Maybe it's standing by while somebody's taking a shower and some safety there, to have somebody there for support because maybe family can't be there doing that. That's what assistance looks like. It's not taking away from anybody's independence. We want people to remain as independent as possible.
I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's such a vital peace of mind for families, especially with the medications. It's so difficult to navigate. But I understand that the Waters of Pewaukee, it goes far beyond just checking boxes. At the Waters, you're also creating an experience where everything's memorable, like the food. It's not just edible. Tell us more about your culinary program that elevates daily life.
If we had an hour here, I could talk about the culinary program at the Waters. So, well, first of all, and Julia, you know this, I eat there every day. And
I love that.
I'm pretty picky. There's a ton of restaurants in Lake Country. First of all, I can't say enough. We have 3 full-time chefs, and I tell families this, I tell visitors. That is very, very important. Food is very important, isn't it? I mean, it's not just, hey, you know, you have a beautiful place to live, you're being taken care of, and here's a meal. Food is a staple. It's probably the number one thing.
Yeah, and you said there's also specials.
Oh my gosh. So with our 3 chefs, what they do weekly is they get together, they create outside of our everyday menu, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they also create a weekly specials menu.
That's so fun.
And that is based on what the residents have suggested and what they would like. So we listen to what people want.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's something to brag about, truly.
Absolutely.
And that brings me to another key point. I love how your philosophy focuses on wellness. That's proactive, not reactive. And life enrichment that actually makes people feel excited to wake up and participate. So what kind of activities or wellness programs do you have?
We have a very robust wellness program. Now, you can be at communities and there's activities, right? It's I like to tell families it's not just bingo, okay? I mean, that's so bingo is fun. It's great. We still have bingo. There's, no shame in bingo. It's what our residents are looking for. If they want to go to the casino, we're going to go to the casino.
Oh yeah, you told me.
If we're going to go to the domes here in Milwaukee, we're going to take a group to the domes. So not only are there internal things, right? We're going outside for some culture, for some art to plays, to programs, and then also bringing groups inside. Irish dancers we had, of course, in March. Yep. Girl Scout groups, Boy Scouts. So a lot of intergenerational things happening too. So
you can go to thewaters.com to learn more. When families actually go on site to the Waters of Pewaukee, what's the most common reaction you get from families?
Wow. That's the first reaction. Absolutely. They walk in and go, wow, okay, this place is beautiful. And that's great. That's a wonderful compliment. And as wonderful as that compliment is, I want them to see what's going on behind the doors too, right? And say, we have this, but we also stand by our food, our programming, our wellness, everything else.
That's fantastic. Jennifer LeBoy with the Waters of Pewaukee. Before we go, how can we learn more? Thewaters.com, of course, or schedule a visit.
Absolutely. So I would suggest going to thewaters.com, looking that information up, calling the building directly, and you can certainly schedule a visit with myself.
Jennifer LeBoy with the Waters of Pewaukee. I'm so happy that you're with us this Sunday, and I'll see you next Sunday for the Sunday Sip.
Thank you so much, Julia. Love being here.
It is going to be a hot one today. We're talking temperatures getting up to about 92 degrees. It's going to be very humid as well. If you're near the lake, you get a couple degrees of relief, but not much. Then tonight, warm and muggy, down to 73. Tomorrow, we've got some clouds, but it's going to be hot and humid with a slight chance of showers or thunderstorms. 92 for a high with a heat index in the afternoon of somewhere between 100 and 105 degrees. We cool down just a bit on Tuesday with our temperatures only reaching about 85. And then by Wednesday, it'll be 75 for a high. But we've got a chance of thunderstorms throughout the week. Those temperatures around Wisconsin on this Sunday morning in Port Washington at 76. Franklin's at 82. Tosa has 82. We're up to 80 degrees at WTMJ at 9:57. Stick around. It's Reporter's Notebook after the news. I'm back at 11 with WTMJ Conversations and Brewers Warm Up at noon on WTMJ.